Greetings, people of the internet and fight fans everywhere. This is Big Mo from Sparta Media Group Studios, and I'm joined at the desk by the CEO of Sparta Sports and Entertainment, Mr. Jeff Cisneros. And Jeff, we are here to review some of the best boxing moments from Sparta Sports and Entertainment and Airtight Boxing from 2019 and the beginning of 2020. And this is actually a very important weekend to the boxing community.
Yeah, it really is, Kody. But before we get started on that, I'd like to take a minute to recognize a special individual. And a lot of people know him as a stranger that impacted a lot of people's life with his bright, vibrant smile and personality. And that was our good friend, known to the fight community as Nicky Fingers. Unfortunately, this last weekend we lost Nicky, and anybody who met him at the events saw what a hard worker he was. He was running around. He was always smiling. He just had that vibrant personality that you wanted to be about. And it's a solid reminder to us all that, what a smile can hide sometimes. He obviously had a lot of pain, and he was going through a lot of things, and now he's in a better place. But I want to take a moment of silence for our friend, Nicky Fingers, and play him a little tribute here. All right, thank you so much for that. I know that Nicky's in a better place, but back to where we were going, we were talking about it, Steve Messis, Airtight Boxing. Man, Kody, I'm bummed. This is the weekend that is always kicks off Cinco de Mayo, and it's always in Vegas, and it's always pay-per-view, and I'm always there. So unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Canelo was set to fight this weekend, and I remember the years before that, it was Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, some of the biggest names in boxing, and it's just a production. It's awesome. It's so much fun. But this weekend, what we came up with is some of the best fights of 2019 and 2020 for Airtight Boxing. And man, we have a list that is just complete fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into these fights, I am going to urge you to please buckle your seatbelt, because the fights that we were able to put on in 2019, epic. I mean, it's interesting looking at the state of Colorado that for a long time was pretty much strictly looked at as an MMA state. A lot of training ground for MMA fighters with all the gyms that we have out here. But the sport of boxing out of Colorado is producing world-class athletes, world-class boxers, both young and experienced. And I don't think we can really go any much further without first talking about one of my favorite guys, which is James Lights Out Wiseman. Everybody loves a knockout, and man, this guy just brings it always.
Well, they call him Lights Out for a reason. And, over the time in boxing, there's guys that are known for just dynamite in their hands, and that's James. When he touches people, they go to sleep. They're not even just kind of hurt. They're unconscious on the ground. And, we put together some incredible highlights for him. He's on a tear right now. He's on a tear. He has a big opportunity in 2020 when things pick back up and into 2021 of really going to the next level, especially with Steve Mestis behind him, who's the man in boxing, and he's got all the connections to get him in the right place. But yeah, James has the ability to end the fight with devastating one-punch knockout power.
Now, we brought up Steve's name a couple times, and for the audience watching at home, let's first touch on what Steve's role is with Sparta and Airtight Boxing.
Well, me and Steve Messis, we got a 20-plus year relationship. We always laugh about it. Back when I used to box, our coach is like, hey, we're going to go down to 20th Street, and we're going to get some sparring in, and, we're going to go down there and cross with these guys. Well, I learned in the first 30 seconds that it's a Philadelphia gym war and not sparring at Steve's gym. He put me in the ring with this guy known as James the Beast Gonzalez, and you learn real fast that there's no sparring at that.
Yeah.
But so Steve has been a long-time staple in the boxing community here in Colorado. He's been a part of some elite camps. Manny Manos Perez, who's been in a lot of big fights as well. Yeah, he is one of my all-time favorite boxers from Colorado. But Steve is a very high-level matchmaker. He's very knowledgeable. And as we've seen over the years that we've worked together, he just puts it, to incredible fights. And so about 3 years ago, I just started talking to him and I said, hey, we could do a lot more growth in the community if we start working together, because I have a huge passion for boxing, as you know, but I also love the MMA and kickboxing. So we brought Steve over, and Airtight Boxing and Sparta now work together on the events, and as you've seen, it's been a recipe for success.
100%, and credit to Steve, because when I'm done announcing the fighters, I'm usually sitting ringside, and a lot of the times I'm sitting next to Steve. And in the boxing community, you have those that coach boxing, those that judge boxing, those that analyze boxing, and then those that matchmake. And matchmake is very different from the other three, because not only do you need to understand the sport on an intricate level, and you need to have the other three at your repertoire of knowledge, but also you need to know stylistically how two people match up. Look, I understand that all the fans that watch fights are always looking for a knockout, just quick 1-2 out there. But that isn't always the best fight, And when you look at the Airtight shows that we've done, the fights usually go a long way. It's not just a quick finish.
Yeah, it's crazy, because it's like, holy cow, did you see that fight? Can it get better? Holy smokes, holy smokes, it just keeps getting better and better. And Steve's just been doing it for so long that, ultimately it's a second nature. He's mastered it. Just like anything, he's a master of his craft, and it's just easy to him. And a lot of people that don't know, Steve also matchmakes for a lot of the top promotions in the world, for Eddie Hearns from Danzin, Top Rank, a bunch of the big promotions. They come to Steve and have him match half the card sometimes when they're struggling. He is a magician at pulling rabbits out of the hat when somebody's injured or something has happened. So yeah, if you don't know Steve and you've seen the quality of boxing cards that we've put on and he's put on for decades, that's where it is. The reason that we're such a good partnership is because he does that, but in the past, his strength hadn't been video production and content. So unfortunately, if you weren't in the arena, you didn't see how incredible a lot of his product was. So now doing it together, it allows me to really do what I love and what he loves, and the rest of the team, as we were just talking about, because matchmaking is overwhelming. It's full time in itself. It is, you love it and you hate it all at the same time, and then you want to drink majorly when it's over. So,
but with Steve, obviously, then we need to talk about his gym, House of Pain, right? We already talked James Wiseman coming out of that gym. Then you have people like Red Hot Robert Allen and people like that. But the gyms in Denver, to me, the depth that these gyms have is what's impressed me. I've gone around and I've met fighters from all of them, and I've actually seen them train, and it's really incredible when you look at the House of Pains, the Family Affair Boxings, the Bring It Back Boxings, the TLC Boxings. These guys are establishing stables of boxers. It's really incredible to watch.
It really is, and that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize sometimes is, a lot of the attention is on these big, beautiful MMA gyms, that are out there that have built these juggernauts and powerhouses, and they started small too. But something special about boxing is going into them and just seeing how grungy they are. Like, that's boxing. Like, the famous Kronk Gym in Detroit, produce legends. It doesn't matter, and that's what I love about it. There's so much talent, oh my gosh, and everybody's hungry and ready to get back and going. But yeah, the gyms here, TLC, you want to talk about a young stable of future world champions.
Don't even get me started.
Oh my goodness. Coach Donald Camarena, a former world champion himself, is just building one of the most elite stables, not just in Colorado, but in the country. AFA, another gym, and they don't just have good boxers, they have kickboxers and MMA. I call them a King of Sparta gym because that's what they're producing, all three. And then as proved, look at Elevation. Yes, they have UFC fighters, but we've seen a few of their fighters come in and win the King of Sparta as well, and then all the way to Pueblo, Jeremy Kimball's gym. He's always been known for great striking. He had a wrestler win King of Sparta who obviously knew how to box and everything. So there's just so many good gyms, that are out there. Train, Fight, Win, Grinders. We could go on and on about the gyms and the capabilities of all of them.
I agree. And TLC, I do want to take a minute to talk about because they are really the cream of the crop. And I got introduced to TLC from some of the early fights that I announced. I was able to announce like Lucio Zuniga and people like that. But then I quickly saw that for every great fighter that they had another one that was right back up next. They had another one that was right back up next. And they'd come in and they would clean house at events. They would pack the stands, chanting TLC. The energy was fantastic. And I don't think that you can talk TLC without talking the son of Donald Camarena, Joaquin Camarena.
Well, look, Joaquin was born and bred for this. He's had a pair of gloves on since he was born, literally since he was 3 years old. And if you watch some of the old videos and just watch him and his footwork, I mean, it's beautiful. It's mastery. And a lot of people will come out and have said, well, he hasn't fought this guy or that guy. Nobody wants a piece of him. Right. That's the real issue. So let's be serious. He is unbelievable. He's got speed. He's got power. He's got the flashiness. He's a showman. His head movement and footwork are unbelievable. He's very exciting, you know, he's that whole stable, but there's no doubt, I mean, we're gonna see that kid as a WBC, WBO world champion, as well as several other from that gym. And the thing that strikes me is so unique about their gym, I mean, these kids are in high school. Lou made his pro debut at 15 years old. He was on our card at 16, already 7-0. But when you think about what's incredible at that, think about technology, think about your average 15, 16-year-old. They're out chasing girls, and yeah, they might be on football, but there's breaks. These kids, there is no break. No. They are in there, and they have one goal and one mission in mind, and you see it every time they get in there. Yeah. You know, I mean, sometimes you forget that they're in high school.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around a lot of athletes in my life, and the ones that achieved greatness are the ones that live it and breathe it. Yeah. They don't take days off. They can't afford to, because if they take a day off, there's someone out there that isn't. Yeah. And they need to be the hardest worker every single day. Mm-hmm. And TLC embodies that, an incredible stable. I mean, I remember I watched the Adon Gonzalez fight against Robeisy Ramirez. Mm-hmm. I mean, Adon Gonzalez, they didn't really give him a shot. They just thought it was kind of a tune-up fight for Robeisy coming in from Cuba, but don't sleep on the guys from Colorado. I mean, they'll knock your block off.
Yeah, you know, another guy that I've been high on for a long time is Jose Arellano. He is another one. I believe he's a future world champion. He's got speed, he's got power, and he is so humble. Yes. So humble. But I've been watching his videos in quarantine workout, right?
Still got it.
Man, I mean, they're out there, you know, him and Milton Roque, they're still out there, you know, they're still out there grinding and training. And when that kid gets another opportunity, look out. Once he hits 14, 15-0, there's going to be some really interesting, you know, matchups for him.
I agree. And, you know, we talk about the young guys in Colorado for boxing, but we also have some very established veterans that can still scrap. I mean, the red hot Robert Frankel, we have Stevie Marquez, we have, who are some of the other ones that I'm forgetting, but regardless, you know, the youth is exciting and that's great, but then you can also drive down the road and find fighters that have 40 professional fights under their belt, and you can go watch some incredible boxing.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's important to have those veterans with the young stars, so that the young stars are not just getting walkthroughs, they're going to have to walk through fire. You know, like we saw what Steve Marquez is still capable of. I mean, with Alejandro Ibarra, I mean, he hit him so hard. But when we were calling the fight, what did I say? I was like, he's going to get up and he's going to come back. I've seen this before. I saw that fight with Cruzito Valenzuela where he just was dominating and, you know, are getting dominated. And he has that Mexican warrior heart, that Mexican spirit, and he got up and he came back and fought. So the boxing here is so exciting, and it always has been. I just think that now we're getting more of a platform because of digital media and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and everybody's becoming more proactive in being able to see it, you know, and I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that.
Well, I think it's good timing too, because boxing just on a world scale is starting to become a prevalent sport again. You know, for a while it kind of fell off, but now with the return of big heavyweights and that kind of stuff, the energy and the excitement for boxing is back. And I think that we are primed and we are in a great state with great fighters, great coaches, great promoters, great matchmakers to put on showcases. And I'm very excited.
Well, look, I think a lot of people don't like to hear it, but boxing's still king. It always has been and it always will be. I love MMA, but there's a reason Deontay Wilder makes $35 million when he fights, and a top-level UFC champion maybe gets $2 to $3 million, unless you're Conor McGregor because of everything else. They have big old money behind them. And I mean, it's American pastime. During the Great Depression, there was still boxing matches going on. We were talking about it earlier. That's what's been difficult about the COVID situation, quarantine. Like, you expect as an entrepreneur and an event, you plan for everything and anything, right? Yes. But a pandemic, no, because you're like, okay, if we have an economic collapse, people are going to still they want entertainment. They still want to get, they still going to drink and do those things. So it kind of shuffled it around a little bit. But it's forcing innovation. Right? We're going to innovate. UFC's going this next weekend. Boxing's not going to be far behind. And even here at Sparta, we're looking at different opportunities to get the ball moving on some level.
Well, the main reason that we're here, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching this, is that we understand that the fight community, regardless of not being able to see live fights, they still want to watch fights. And that is why we have this show this evening, is to talk about the best boxing bouts and moments from this last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just excited. There's so many that we have to go through. But before we do, we're going to take a break, thanking some local sponsors, and we'll be back in a minute.
My name is John Vigil. I'm the president and CEO of Dynamic Mortgage Concepts. We were established in March of 2008, so been through a lot of different business cycles. Basically, the bottom line is I've been lending for 20 years, and we offer a multitude of different products that fit almost every borrower's needs. And if you don't qualify for something now, we can focus on what it takes to get you qualified for something that we do offer. We have over 100 years of experience in our main office in Fort Collins. And if you're looking for someone that can basically guide you through the mortgage process, whether it's buying, refinancing, construction loans, private money loans, we offer a few things that are just a little different than most lenders. We just focus on serving you first and delivering the best product that the industry has to offer.
Welcome back, fight fans. We are here at Sparta Media Group Studios here in Boulder, Colorado. This is Big Mo. I'm here with the CEO of Sparta Sports and Entertainment, Mr. Jeff Cisneros, and we are breaking down some of the best fights from the 2019 and 2020 season. Now, first, let's start with Brandon Turner-Frazier and Jose Valdez, some big heavyweights that fight like big heavyweights.
Oh my goodness. Brandon Frazier comes from Top Notch, so you knew he was going to be prepared. And his opponent is just game. Steve again matched this one up, and he said, this is going to be a barn burner. And they just came out, and they were just unloading on each other. I mean, as you'll see in the highlights, it was back and forth and back and forth. And it was a speed that a pace that we don't typically see from heavyweights, right?
Yep. No, and that's what impressed me when I was calling the fight is, usually you have those moments in a fight where it kind of is a lull and people kind of get their breath together and compose themselves. They didn't stop. Yeah. They were constantly, one guy in the corner, the other got the other in the corner, and they were just unloading the whole time. But the other fight that I do want to talk about is featuring two of the best fighters in the state of Colorado matching up, and that was Carl the Cyclone Rogers and El Gallo de Oro, Lucio Zuniga.
Wow. It's funny because I was talking to our marketing director last night, Shelby Ellis, about it, and he's just like, oh my gosh, I've watched this fight like 5 times. I can't get enough of it. This is insane. And I remember watching it, and Lucio's another one. I think he's 18 or 19 years old. He is really young. But if you look at the composure that he shows in there, and Carl's just a madman. Like he's like a cardio king. I mean, he's another one. We've been sharing his videos of him working out in quarantine. There's no excuses. He's a freak athlete for sure. And, at the end of the fight, it ended up being Lucio taking home the W. But later, Carl came back and he got the W versus another tough opponent in Milton. But that fight, like, just look at these highlights, Kody. I mean, it was just back and forth and it was chaos. And the energy that night was unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember it vividly, how loud the place was, how excited it was. I believe it was in the middle of summer and everyone was out and showing out and they were supporting their gyms. It was a really cool experience, especially to be in the middle as I was. I enjoyed the whole night. Another fight that I want to talk about is actually Brittany Cruz versus Ibaka. Again, we've talked about it, but House of Pain, TLC, Yankees, Red Sox, Lakers, Celtics. I mean, they're rivals, but they're also best friends. I mean, they know that each of them want to be the top dog gym in the state of Colorado.
Well, I mean, honestly, like that's what you'll see in boxing is two guys could be best friends, brothers. They're going to fight each other because it's going to grow their career and it's a sport. Much like, Gotti Ward, they were incredible friends, but they look like enemies on the night of, right? That incredible trilogy. I remember talking to Steve about this fight, and forever he's like, we got to match this up. This is going to be fire. This is going to be incredible. And it was. I mean, just barn burner action. Both girls have incredible game plans. They follow instruction very well, and they don't know how to go backwards. And as you see in the highlights, I mean, back and forth, back and forth. What does the crowd love, Kody? Good girl fights.
I agree. I do, at least. I can't speak for the rest of the fans. I'm a big fan of it.
And a great flurry by both fighters to end round
what
number
a nice
4.
finish.
Now, Jeff, we touched on it earlier, but Joaquin Camarena, the real upstart superstar of the state of Colorado, we're going to feature and talk about a couple of his fights. But first, from a promoter standpoint, from someone that's been in the sport for a very long time, a big boxing fan yourself, how do you think that they're handling Joaquin? Are they pushing him at the right speed? Are they matching him up properly? Just what's your take?
Yeah, Donald's doing a brilliant job, and why wouldn't he? He's been through it, right? He fought he was a world champion. He fought guys like Paulie Malignaggi himself. He knows the mistakes that they made, maybe possibly with his career, if there were any, and he has nothing but his son's best interest. Now, father-son dynamics have always been one in question in the sport of boxing, but it has also worked very well. Felix Tito Trinidad and his father, but then you had like Oscar De La Hoya and his father. They had a terrible relationship. So it just depends. But I've seen those two, and their chemistry is incredible. So in my opinion, they're moving him just right. Now, for selfish reasons, as a fan, you want to see more. Yes. And, a fight you couldn't help but coming up with in your head would be Andrew Strode versus Joaquin Camarena, because they're both undefeated superstars.
Careful, Jeff.
Right? They both have speed, they both have power, and we're not going to see it on a local level, nor should we, because it's a big money fight that hopefully we get to see down the road. But I've seen banter going kind of back and forth, and so for me, where is it at? Their skills are both very, very elite. They're both a little bit different at things. What I love about Joaquin is watch him use his range.
Yes,
right?
He's long.
He uses his range exceptionally well. He keeps his opponents on the end of his punches, and he doesn't get hit. He doesn't take damage. He moves his head well, and it's just the slight little slips, right? It's nothing dramatic, but he doesn't get hit, and he throws a beautiful uppercut moving backwards.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch the tail of a tape in a fight, actually the number one thing that I look at, it might just be because I'm a taller guy, is I look at reach. That is a real tangible advantage that a fighter has. And Joaquin fights at a weight to where he's still very fast, but he is much longer than anyone else that he fights. And looking at some of his fights, the first one that I do want to talk about is back from Ring of Fire in February 2019 versus Scott Fernie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like all of his performances, they're all the same. The only hope that we've seen him get bum rushed a couple times because they're trying to crowd him. His footwork's too good. He knows how to be elusive. He doesn't sit in the pocket to take damage. He only throws his damage and then he moves. I mean, it's just really beautiful to watch. It's a lot like, it's just like an artist, right? Like watching him, like watching Jose Arellano. What I love about Jose is how he breaks down the body and then goes to the head late. Yes. You know, Misael Lopez, another great one. He's living in Vegas now. He's on the verge of superstardom as well. Great boxers, but if you watch the way they do it, they're just a little bit better at everything than even the good guys.
Well, you know? the nickname that Joaquin goes by is Too Slick, Too Quick Jr. Well, Too Slick, Too Quick Sr. was his father. Yeah. Donald Camarena, a world champion like we talked about, so it's clear where he's getting his, there might be a little bit of genetics.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, you know, and I love that he's always dressed up in his nice suit holding mitts. Yep. He's going to, hey, Don, you're going to be hating on this jacket here tonight. You're going to be like, where can I get one of those?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to say that he got the idea for me to dress up, but, you know, I'm going to take some credit for it, Donaldo De Niro, but we'll see each other at the next fight with who's got the more stuff going on. But moving ahead with his son Joaquin, another fight that I want to talk about is against Jesus Urbina. Now, I got to watch that fight, and that's actually the first fight that I watched Joaquin in and actually got to analyze. And again, we talked about at the reach, you know, he was facing someone that was shorter than him. And I think that that's what makes a great fighter, is being able to adapt stylistically to who you're fighting. You're not going to fight every other opponent the same way. Right. And so he knew going in, and again, this is coming about preparation. You know, I do want to talk about that in a second, but he was able to see who he was fighting, see where his advantages were, and use them. And preparing for a sport, regardless of what it is, whether it would be fighting, football, basketball, whatever, the prep is just as important as the fight itself. I believe there's the quote, and I might be butchering this quote, so don't be in the comment section tell me I messed up the quote, but it was like, if I had an hour to win a battle, I would spend 40 minutes of it sharpening my sword or something like that. It's all about the preparation for these guys.
Yeah, and I mean, look, lions are training with lions over there, so he's not seeing anything different so far in the ring that he's not seeing there. Now, the time's going to come, just like in every great champion. He's going to get tested, right? But I believe he's going to come through those with flying colors. You know, it's like, you know, we talk about in boxing what fights can happen. Well, everybody on this planet wants to see Terrence Crawford and Spence, and Earl Spence,
Me too.
right?
I do.
Yeah, I mean that's that's the fight where my personal pick is Crawford. I think he's just too much, but it's a great fight. Yeah. They're going to both be tested in that. Yeah. You know, they're going to be tested in that fight. And so that's the exciting part for me, is seeing these guys' career grow, and then see them walk through the fire with flying colors.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Crawford, and I do want to mention that is, you know, I have a good relationship with Fidel Martinez over at AFA, and he's very close with Crawford's team, and he was telling me that Crawford runs the Manitou Incline like every day. Mm-hmm. And I do think that's something about the state of Colorado that is very interesting with sports and fighting specifically with the cardio, is a lot of fighters come here to train to adapt to that altitude, to train their lungs to handle thinner oxygen. And it's no coincidence that when we have fighters come fight here in Colorado that aren't from Colorado, you can tell by the last few rounds, they're trying to get that thin oxygen in, they're not used to it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Terrence's been training here for a long time. I got to meet him a couple years ago at his camp in Colorado Springs. Super humble guy, really nice. But yeah, he's a savage. He wants to hurt you when he's in there, and I can't wait for that fight to happen. So yeah, it's exciting to watch Joaquin's rise. And it's going to be even more exciting to see him get, you know, those big co-main main event slots down the road in Vegas.
And the last fight with Joaquin that we wanted to show highlights of is from Seasons Beatings at the end of 2019, one of my favorite cards that I've been able to be a part of, where he faced Jairo Delgado. Now, we were talking about that a lot of times, you know, Joaquin has been facing some younger fighters. Obviously, he himself very young. Jairo, a little bit older, more experienced fighter, didn't make a difference.
It really doesn't. And that's the thing, is like, you know, some people could be like, oh, look at his box rec, he's got a losing record, but who did he fight? Right? And that's the thing, is like, that guy's a legit journeyman, has been in there with some pretty good fighters. Joaquin is just on another level. And that, I mean, that's as simple as it is that he is elite, and he has all the tools, everything: speed, power, footwork, head movement, and the showmanship. promoters are going to be all over him on a very big stage. And so I'm excited to see where that goes.
Joaquin, if you're watching this, personally, big fan. I have merchandise. I would love an autograph. I mean, I'm not above that, so I'll get with you next time. But another fight that I wanted to talk about with you, Jeff, is Angelina Hoff Snider versus Angela Galvin. Another, we talked about, love the girl fights where they go in there and beat the ever-living hell out of each other, and that one, again, is no exception.
Yeah, I mean, as you'll see in the highlights, it's funny because if there's a fight I'm not sure about, I ask Steve what he thinks, and he just gives me a smile, and I'm like, oh, get your popcorn ready. This is about to be fireworks. And it is. It's just amazing that it just keeps turning barn burner after barn burner after barn burner, And that fight was just incredible from start to finish. I mean, both the girls were just tough as nails. And there's something fun about the girls that don't go backwards, right?
Yeah, no, it's exciting. And that's something me and Steve have this funny connection, because when I'm in the ring and I'm waiting for the opposing fighter to get to the ring, Steve will come up to me, he goes, "This is going to be a hell of a fight." And I'm just like, yeah, you say that about every fight. But then once again, I leave he's proven right that it's going to be a great fight. And that's why we're talking about Steve's picks, because he knows what he's talking about. He's good at it. And the last fight is pretty but bad. Junior Columbus versus Amir Young. Now, Junior Columbus is another guy that we want to talk about in this local scene. He was scheduled to fight at AVM, a exceptional boxer. Actually a very humble guy, honestly, if you met him. And a lot of times you wouldn't even know that he was a boxer,
Yeah, he's got an awesome comeback story. He went through a lot in his life, and to see him come back is very cool. And under normal circumstances, he's my barber. I know I kind of got the whole Steven Seagal / Wolf of Wall Street thing going right now.
You look good,
yeah,
man.
I haven't been able to get a haircut in forever. But Junior, if you're watching, I'm going to come see you as soon as this quarantine lifts completely.
I'll be there too.
But yeah, Junior, he's another one. He's got nasty power, as showcased in the Zamir fight. Like, it was a good fight, and then boom, a nasty left hook. And man, I mean, we're going to get that fight with Brad Jackson that was scheduled for AVM. That fight was going to be a barn burner. Brad Jackson and Stevie Marquez had some bloodbaths together. So, I mean, they call him Action Jackson for a reason, because, I mean, he's got a lot of fights. He's got 20-something fights. Junior, I believe, is 7-1. So he's making his move now. His career is very interesting to me, because he's got power, and when you got power, look out. Right? Look out. And you are right. He's very humble. I like watching him fight. He brings a huge, rowdy crowd. And that's boxing. That's what makes it very fun.
Mm-hmm. And I think, you hit the nail on the head, is that, we love action. And no discredit to the boxers that are more defensive, phenomenal regardless. But there's some about the fighters that'll put their foot in the middle of the ring and they tell the other guy, "You're going to make me move. Because I'm going to make you move. I'm going to put you in that corner. I'm going to put you on the ropes, and eventually I'm going to put you to sleep."
That's Stevie Marquez.
Yeah.
And it has been his whole career.
Exactly.
Right? It's funny, because we talk about he walks down so calm and just in the center ring, and he's just like taking whatever you got, and then it's coming. It's going to come, and then boom, there's the huge punch. I mean, I always thought that, Junior and Stevie was an interesting, fun fight, because Stevie's got a chin.
Once again, careful.
Right?
You're going into treacherous waters here.
Yeah, a chin of granite. I just love both those guys. But I'm excited to see Junior get back in there, and he's another one. He's been out there grinding, and he's training still. They're ready. Very few people have taken this time to sit on the couch and do nothing. I mean, they're athletes. Yes. They're going to find a way. They're going to go. And so I'm very excited for that. That fight was a lot of fun. And I remember Junior was like, "Can I get my gloves?" And so I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I like that a lot, because it means something to them. Yes. Like, they're going to remember that. It's a story he can share with his kids. And, those mementos just mean a lot to these guys.
I agree completely. And, I'm curious. And I want to give the fans here watching us a little bit of insight, okay? Airtight Boxing, Sparta Sports and Entertainment. Any plans? Any secret sauce y'all got brewing up behind the scenes?
Yeah, unfortunately for Jesse and Becca, they get 3 a.m. ideas, we call them, and that's when I'm like just sitting there and I'm like, oh, we could do this, we could do that.
I gotta call Steve.
Yeah. I gotta. First, what I do is I go and I talk to myself about it. And then I'm like, okay, Jesse's going to be like, God damn it, but he's going to hear me out. Because they're enablers. Like I've brought them stuff that's completely insane and then they make it happen. Right. So that tells me that nothing's impossible to keep going. But I tell him, I'm like, let's not tell Becca about this one because I haven't talked to the commission yet. I haven't talked to her because I could just already see her head spinning 360.
Right.
And, like what's wrong with you? So typically I go to Steve, Jesse, commission, Becca, rest of the team, right? And Rob's always just on board. He's just like, yeah, whatever. I love it. But we're working on, we came up with a pretty crazy idea last night that it just kind of popped into my mind. And I think if we can get approval from the commission, we'll find out later this week that we could be back in business June and July, of course, following social distancing guidelines. And what I could tell you is this thing's so outside the box, nobody's ever done it. If somebody's thought about it, we've never heard about it. This is another innovation, a lot like King of Sparta, but more of a viewing perspective that mixes some pretty interesting stuff with it. So yeah, we're constantly working and we're brewing some stuff. We also talked about, how sick and tired are people turning on the news and hearing all the negative stuff that goes on every day, right? Over and over. So initially with Sparta Media Group, we had launched Sparta Media Group Sports, where we were just doing like youth wrestling and all those things. Well, this is a great opportunity to launch SMG News Network on YouTube and Facebook. And what we want to do is we're only going to highlight and feature positive stories. Right. So, we have Todd Romero that's going to be doing sports. You're going to be hosting sports segments. We're going to cover the NFL draft. We're going to cover NCAA sports. We're going to talk about the fight community. We're going to have interviews. We got a chef on staff. So our audio engineer, Kody, is going to be doing a segment called Cooking with Kody. And he's interesting. He's funny. He's crazy. We don't know what he's ever going to do, but he's an incredible chef. And then we're also going to do small business features, right? So a lot of our small business friends are really hurting right now, not just in the restaurant industry, but in all industries. And so every week we're going to go around town and we're going to feature a small business. And we're going to give them some much needed, promotion and highlights that they need. And then we're also going to do feel good community stories. So if you guys have, any of that, we'll put a graphic up with my email. Send me these stories and we'll get them out there. Another exciting one is, we're going to have Sean Patrick is going to be doing the entertainment segment, like what's good in country music, what are those good feel-good stories. And we just have some incredible interviews lined up that are coming. We have some musicians that are really breaking through on multiple levels, entrepreneurship, kids entrepreneurship, and just so many things. So the SMG News Network, Kody, I'm very excited about. And, we're going to be doing an awesome project with you that we'll hold our tongue before we do it. And, that's what's beautiful about situations like this is that shutdowns and, this whole mess, it forces real entrepreneurs to pivot. We make adjustments and we go forward. And a really good friend of mine has come up with an incredible business idea in the entertainment side that we're very close to launching, and we're going to be kicking that off in May. And so when you guys see this, you're going to be excited about it. I have barely been able to sleep. We were joking about it today. I went to bed at 12:30. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I just felt so motivated, like Tony Robbins was in my head. I did my 500 sit-ups, 400 push-ups. I wrote down my goals. I listened to all my motivational stuff. And then, 9 a.m. hit and I was like, what day is it? And then I passed out. And by 6 p.m. I was like, this is how you end up on my 600-pound life. Yep. But on a serious note, we have so many fun projects that this has forced us into executing. We were talking about it the other night, me and Jesse and Becca and the entire team. We've always had incredible ideas, but executing them had been a big problem because we were understaffed and overwhelmed. And now we're really being able to master our craft. I showed you a sample of the music video Jesse just finished editing earlier. It's incredible. We're shooting an incredible TV commercial for Dodge on Friday and Saturday that just talks about how everybody's so proud, we are to be an American and, and have a Dodge brand. So I'm just really excited about all the things that we've had to do. And, this pivot's allowed us to evolve and grow the brand even further. And when we can come back to fully packed stadiums, it's going to be exciting.
I agree. And for those of you that are watching this at home, I do think it's important noting that the decisions that Jeff and the team make here at Sparta Sports and Entertainment and Sparta Media Group, it's about you all. It's about the fans that come to our fights. It's about the small businesses that support us and our fighters and everyone in the community. When you go through something like this, unprecedented, never happened before really in this lifetime, it's people in the community, businesses, fans, people, organizations. That's what holds it together. That's the glue. I don't want to get off my patriotic soapbox right now, but the people in the community that are part of Sparta, that's what makes all this go. That's what makes the community go. And the fact that we can be at the forefront of it and help other individuals and help businesses, that's something that I love. And that's something that I take pride in beyond just the entertainment side, is helping people that at the time need it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we got a lot of positive feedback from the AVM virtual show from a lot of the veterans that tuned in to watch it. And, you know, it's crazy because ironically, we ended the show, our live show in February, going back, counting all the fight nights and everything, was the 99th Sparta show that we've ever done. Wow. So AVM 11 would have actually been Sparta 100 as well. Wow. So when we come back, we are going to unleash our 100th show unlike anything you've ever seen. And if that's 2021, then that's what it has to be. But I mean, we're so excited, Kody. Like, we're excited to get this thing popping and, you know, and going and put some smiles on faces. People count on this every weekend, you know, to come out, and they like having the social interaction at the events, and, you know, all of our sponsors that support it. Like, it's just not possible without them.
Agreed. I completely agree with everything you just said. And ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have saved the best fight to talk about for last. And that is LT Smash Nelson versus the amazing Shawn Mccallum. But before we do, we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsors and local advertisers.
What's up, guys? This is Jeff here with Sparta Media Group, and I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about all the exciting products that we offer here at Sparta Media Group. Whether you're a small business or a large business and beyond, we offer it all. We are your one-stop shop for promotional items. We build video content. We build YouTube pre-roll. We do graphic design. We do screen printing and t-shirts. We wrap vehicles. We create vinyl banners, direct to mailers, and business cards, and so much more. To learn a little bit about Sparta MG, click the link below and follow me.
Here at Arapahoe Kia, the safety of our customers, staff, and community are our top priority. We wish to make your car buying experience as easy and comfortable as possible. Our online sales specialists and in-store staff are standing by to help you with all your auto needs. Our services will continue to operate, and we will remain open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please call or email with any questions or concerns that you may have. Visit us at coloradokia.com today. Browse through our inventory from the safety of your own home. Our website is a helpful resource for shopping and researching vehicles. You can search through our entire inventory, whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle. At coloradokia.com, you can also find service and parts information, as well as being able to communicate directly with the dealership. We will also continue to offer vehicle pickup and delivery services. No matter which department you are looking to reach, we have staff available to answer your questions and assist with your needs. You can connect with a member of our team by phone, email, or through our website. Please don't hesitate to reach out, as we remain dedicated to serving you for all your automotive needs throughout this challenging time.
Welcome back, fight fans, to Sparta Media Group Studios here in Boulder, Colorado. Once again, I am Big Mo. I'm joined here by Mr. Jeff Cisneros. And I think it's that time of the night, Jeff, where we talk about one of the best fights that I have ever seen. And that is between LT Smash Nelson and the amazing Shawn Mccallum. A fight that, when I was told about it, at first I was like, that's kind of strange. But then I started thinking about it, I was like, wow, this is going to be exceptional. So walk myself, because I'm not sure I know the whole story, but also walk our fans through how that fight came about.
Well, so again, it was a 3 a.m. message from Steve, and he was telling me, in all seriousness, it was about 2 a.m. I think, and he was like, hey, we got to get Shawn matched up. You know, he's ready to go. And Shawn's a beast. He had fought on one of our cards before. He's highly touted. He had recently got a big opportunity on a big promotion. And moments before the fight, in the locker room, his opponent got arrested, literally. And so he was just like, I mean, imagine how devastating that is, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, he's ready to go. He's like, who do we got though? I mean, there's not people lining up. And I'm like, what weight? And he's like 68. And I was like, man, I'll tell you right now, let's call LT Nelson.
Oh, faithful.
And he's like, oh man, he's like, that's a good one. He's like, so all right, let's go for it. So the next day we reached out, had some brief negotiations, and we were underway. But what made that fight interesting for me is that LT is a complete combat sports athlete. There's a reason he's won King of Sparta 2 times in a row. The format is built boxing first, kickboxing, MMA. But he's technically a great boxer, and we saw him fight Cruzito Valenzuela. And honestly, Cruzito is a great boxer. It really wasn't a close fight. LT picked him apart, you know, and that made me think like, oh my goodness, like Cruz is tough. He's a great fighter, and LT looked really good in it, and that really stuck out in my mind. And so I knew he had had a tough loss in Canada, had got his jaw broken, and they had stopped the fight, but he never really looked stunned or out of it. Right. Shawn has got nasty power. He used to be a light heavyweight at 78. So actually, I think they moved it to 65. And I was just like, this is such an interesting fight. So we're talking about it. We set it up. Steve got it all set for January, and the buzz that night. I mean, we had a complete sellout, standing room only, and they were there all the way through to the main event. Yeah. And man, from the opening bell, I mean, we got to see 2 things, right? One, why LT Nelson's 2-time King of Sparta, why the man is literally got a warrior's heart. And on the other side of it, we got to see why everybody's so high on Shawn Mccallum.
Yeah, it was interesting for me watching the fight because, a lot of times you look at the skill of each fighter, of course, but both those fighters had subtleties about them that you might not think about initially. One, obviously, is that Shawn Mccallum used to be a light heavyweight. What that means is he knows how to hit bigger, tougher guys. So when you drop in a weight class, that power doesn't always go away. You still know how to deliver it. But then across the corner, you have one of probably the toughest people I've ever met, and that was LT Smash Nelson. I mean, there were a lot of moments where a lot of fighters would have gotten knocked out in this fight, and you guys are going to see it in a second. A lot of fighters would go down with some of the shots that Shawn was given. LT is not normal. He's a Terminator, and he would get hit, and he would immediately come back. No questions asked, would not take any time.
Yeah, and even when he got knocked down, he got back up. What was interesting for me is when I heard the news that Shawn was going to be a real middleweight, super middleweight, he's pilled, as you see. At 75, he looked the same way. What's interesting about that fight, rewind, I believe it was 2014, 2015, February Greeley, he wanted to have one last amateur fight, and the guy that wanted to fight him had been basically only beat 1 time in 6 years of an illustrious amateur career by Shawn. So they wanted to gauge if he was ready to go pro. So they took the fight, and Shawn annihilated him. I mean, he finished the fight, and he left no doubts, right, of how elite he is. But sometimes when fighters try to go that extra distance and cut that extra weight, it drains them. It takes it out of them. Not that the power's not still there, but it just takes your energy. It saps you. And especially you're going to be in with a guy like LT that's going to be in your face the entire time. You're not going to finish LT in a round. You're not going to finish him in 2 rounds. You're lucky if you finish him in the fight at all. And, that's what was incredible to watch. Shawn is very special, and I'm excited to see more of him. And LT, he's itching. We, before this whole thing happened, we had a big plan to do King of Sparta up in Central City, with live gaming coming and everything. I mean, it was going to be epic, and we will get back to it at some point as soon as we can. But before we do, get your popcorn ready. We're going to show you the entire fight of LT Nelson versus Shawn Mccallum, and you can be a judge for yourself.
Okay, gentlemen, I don't want to see anything below here, nothing below here, nothing behind. Any questions? Let's touch them up. Let's take care of business.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are ready. Big Mo is back. We're going to make him stand.
Oh my God, I have been waiting for this fight since it was announced. What just a mix of styles that are in this bout tonight.
This really is. This is something special that we're going to see here. Man, I can't believe how slim Shawn is. I mean, he was ripped at light heavyweight, 75. Yeah. He's used to having big shots. He wants to land big power, but he's going to see LT's not going to go anywhere.
No, not at all. I mean, LT, a 6-2 professional boxing bout, tack on the countless other kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA fights. It's a very interesting style. I mean, Jeff, you've been around the game for so long. When you're Shawn Mccallum and you're fighting against a guy like LT who's just so versed in so many styles, how on earth do you prepare for something like that?
I'll be honest, I don't think that they really cared who they fought. I mean,
true.
they're that confident in his. I mean, you can see beautiful boxing. But LT's not your typical MMA crossover. I mean, you want to put an MMA fighter in with a legitimate high-level boxer, give it to LT.
True.
Because he's going to hang.
100%. I mean, look, we talked about in the pre-show, the King of Sparta, saying that someone is the King of Sparta is that's a massive accolade under your belt. Because, and just when I say that, he gets dropped.
Wow. But that looked more like a flash knockdown, to be honest. Like he caught him. But, I mean, that's the power this young man possesses.
Yeah, I mean, look, 6-round bout. So if he comes out and win this round because of the knockdown, that's great. But as we learned in the Steven Marquez fight, a knockdown does not mean you win the fight. It more than likely means you won the round. But as I was saying with LT, being a King of Sparta means that you can box.
Yeah. I mean, Shawn is landing major power shots.
Yes, very quick too. It's actually amazing how long he is, but the fact that he can get in, get out, and deliver as powerful shots as he is very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Given his nickname, The Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's, so far, I agree.
When LT was coming into the ring, we were talking about, extreme athletes that get in the flow state.
Yeah.
Where everything slows down. They see it coming. They're in that rhythm. They're in that zone. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about LT Nelson in big fights and in tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, he's got incredible knockout power, but he's actually just such a calm fighter.
Yeah. He's handled it really well. Major setback.
Big shot there by Mccallum.
But he's not getting overexcited.
No.
But look at Mccallum sit down and turn over his punches. That's really hard to do against a guy like LT.
Yes.
Because he's moving constantly. He's applying pressure constantly.
That is something about LT is he does not stop.
No, you want to keep LT on the end of your punches, and it's hard to do because the man's a zombie. He moves forward.
Yeah. Now we talked about in the pre-show, what's great about Shawn Mccallum is he just wants to fight. He wants to climb the ranks, and he will fight anyone, including calling out James Lights Out Wiseman, the current 175-pound champion on social media. That's incredible. And he's right now in front of LT Nelson. Look, the fact of the matter is this. Airtight Boxing, Sparta Sports Entertainment, puts the fights that the people want to see in the state of Colorado and in the region. And do not be surprised with whoever wins this bout to possibly go on and contend for another title in Airtight.
Man, me and Steve talked about this matchup at 2 in the morning. The sleeper cell, baby. We come up with crazy hours, but nobody match makes better than Steve Messes. We talked about it. He's done it for so long. He does it on a very high level.
Yeah.
I was just happy to be able to collaborate with this one when I said, how about LT Nelson?
100%. I mean, that's what's amazing is when I saw LT on the main event for a boxing guy, I was like, that's interesting. Because his last big bout was kickboxing for glory.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an athlete on a very high level.
Yeah. good shot there by LT, but just the natural quickness of Mcgowan is very impressive.
Yeah, and he's got 2 brothers that are also very high-level boxers as well. So it's a family full of boxers.
Yeah.
He's great. We first saw him at light heavyweight versus the very high-ranked amateur 2 years ago, and he just decapitated him.
Wow. I mean, what's incredible is that LT is fast.
Yeah.
But Shawn is faster.
Yeah,
Big shot there. Wow.
That's real power when you're moving backwards like that.
Yeah. Well, Shawn's asking for it, and he's on the ropes too. Oh, good shot there by LT. Be careful what you ask for there.
Beautiful jab, by Shawn. LT is thrown off a little bit, I think, by the power. I don't think he expected for that to, come through the way that it did.
I agree.
He's taken big shots, but I've never seen him, drop that early in a fight with a punch.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Oh, huge uppercut by LT. Shawn took it very, very well, though. And LT is one of those guys, he gets better as the night goes on.
Big shots by both of them now. We got a little bit of a fight on our hands here, Jeff.
It's heating up. Man, I completely lost myself. I'm like, are we in round 1 or round 2?
After Bailey and Malia went at it, it's just been, I blacked out. I don't know. It's just, good shot there. Shawn looks very, very composed and very, very fast.
Yeah. Well, and the one thing you'll see when he does decide to throw combinations, look at that body hook.
Yeah.
And he digs that in.
I agree. Yeah, it's under a minute now, 50 seconds. And, for a while, I think LT was winning this round, but Shawn has landed a couple big punches in the last about 30 seconds.
Yep.
Well, LT now smells blood.
Hook.
He smells blood.
And that's what LT does. He gets better as the fight goes on.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Shot there.
That pressure is so hard to deal with.
The toughness of both of these fighters that's the best matchup. But both great fighters in their own right. Both have their own advantages, but both are just tough as nails.
Yeah. No doubt
shot
about
by
it.
LT.
It's everything we had hoped for so far through 2.
10 seconds left.
Let's see how this last 10 seconds finishes, but I got it 1-1. I think, Mcgowan got the 10-8 round with a knockdown.
Yep.
LT comes back, wins this round.
Yes.
Good fight.
Yeah.
Good fight.
And now, both going back to their corners, excellent corners. A1 boxing for Shawn Mccallum, and then pound for pound fitness with Justin Houghton for LT. And LT is choosing not to sit on the stool. Just a very well conditioned fight. Not even putting his hands on the rope. Look, he's walking forward to the center of the ring, trying to get in there.
Gangster. The G.
Here's the replay here. Oh, there it goes. But
yeah, I was actually listening to Steve Mestis give his opinion on it. He just knows so much about both these guys and the boxing game in general. I love hearing his knowledge for it. And that's really, again, a testament. The matchmaking tonight was just on point.
Yeah, 100%. Look how many of the fights went to decision.
Yeah.
That's because they were even matchups.
Man, Shawn is a huge middleweight.
Yeah, it is impressive how big his frame is. Just how wide his shoulders and chest are. It's very impressive. Good lead jab there by Shawn. Yep. Good shot back by Tito. Good shots by LT. He's got to keep the pressure on. When he senses that Shawn is backpedaling, if he's able to get him into the corner ropes, that's when we can see a big shot be delivered by LT.
Yeah, absolutely. Shawn is just... there we go.
Goodness gracious. I felt that one in my spine. Ay, ay, ay.
Man. It's hard to not be a fan doing this. Today I'm filling in, obviously, because our good friend Todd Romero had surgery, and he wasn't feeling too good tonight. So, I stepped in to help out a little bit. And it's hard for me to not be a fan of both these guys. I just love boxing so much.
Well, I think that's what's incredible about what Sparta and Airtight have done is they've created their own pocket within the fight community where people are so committed to the fighters that they watch. look at the turnout for just gyms, not individual fighters, but everyone following their gyms and who they support. It's really been incredible to where I'll sit around and just talk about the local fighters with fans that are in the building tonight, with my coworkers. I always talk to Todd about it and JR and a lot of people that are involved with Sparta. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family affair. It really is. I like family affair.
No
boxing,
pun
right?
intended. Ah, nice, nice.
I need some plugs for Sparta.
So far, LT definitely been the aggressor.
Yep, and this is
got him on the ropes now.
And this is the part that was in question that a lot of people talked about. How was Shawn going to deal with somebody not going away from his vicious power?
Well, and just just an obscure fighter like LT, like he's not a traditional boxer.
No. And he applies pressure. He's going to be in your face the whole time.
And you're not going to knock him out.
No. Well,
I came close. Hold on, I said it, but under a minute now in the third round. Again, set for 6 3-minute rounds. This is our championship main event. LT Smash Nelson in the combo flag South America and American flag shorts, and then Shawn Mccallum in the black shorts.
Huge shot landed by Mcgowan. See, and you cannot let him start backing you up. LT does way better when he's applying the pressure and he's backing Shawn up.
Yes. What's tough is that takes some energy.
Yeah, but I mean, the man has fought 3 fights in one night. 2 times in one.
True, yeah. Ooh, big shots there by Mccallum, but LT's firing back.
Watching this is the stuff that is so interesting about the tournaments, right? Like boxing first, kickboxing second, MMA second. Me and Steve Mess have been talking about doing a Super 8 middleweight tournament for $10,000.
Really?
With just straight boxing.
Good shot by Mccallum. Stand the round. Wow.
He's tired though.
They both are. I think they both are.
Mccallum's tired, and LT throws when he's tired.
Yes, I agree. And look at this again. LT not using the stool, standing. Look at Mccallum in the corner.
He's breathing hard.
Yeah.
Hard. 3 rounds to go. This is where LT makes his money.
Yes.
This is where LT makes his money.
Yes. Yeah. We were just sitting here with Steve, and he says that he was acclimated to the power that Shawn started out with, and now LT is becoming the aggressor in this fight.
And sometimes that's part of it, is like that power, you're not really prepared for it until you get it, and then you're like, oh, okay, make some adjustments. I mean, he has been in there with savages. Him and Justin Gaethje have had some of the most epic sparring matches I've ever seen. And Brandon Gertz, the Bellator fighter.
Wow.
I mean, dude, we could sell tickets to that.
Well, hold on, don't say that too loud now. Steve and Jefferson, don't talk about selling tickets. They're going to sell, there ain't no more tickets left to be sold.
Oh, man.
Round 4 of 6. Ooh, good shot by Mccallum. Good shot by LT, though. They are going at it. This is an incredible main event so far.
Yep, absolutely.
Good uppercut by LT. Oh, another good shot by LT. He's got him on the ropes, and you can probably hear Justin Houghton, J-Ho from Pound for Pound Fitness saying this is where you take over. He knows his fighter. He knows when he smells blood in the water.
I want Shawn to keep his hands up when he's on the ropes like that against LT. And I don't know if it's that he's tired or he doesn't believe LT can hurt him.
Yeah.
And the thing we've seen with LT is it's not a one-punch knockout. It's an accumulation of punches added up, finished by a beautiful left hook.
I agree. I mean, the fact that LT just keeps coming is I'm blown away.
Let's not forget, he's fighting a legit prospect.
Yeah. And that's the other thing to consider, too.
Wow. Big right
Massive
hand.
shot. Wow. The thing, too, to consider is that Mccallum, like you said, was much bigger before. So his body still knows what it's like to handle power.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, I don't think that cut is easy for Mccallum.
Yeah.
So
True.
I wonder if he's feeling that now.
True, he could be.
Big weight cut.
He could be. LT's corner getting a little talking to. Oh well. Well, we're back to it now.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna need a warning. I mean, McCallum's holding him down now, but it's big right hand by Shawn.
But LT's immediately firing back. Warriors, my God.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Wow, both fighters are so into the fight. Good hook by LT. Good hook by Shawn. I mean, my God. LT's on Dream Street.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Huge power by McCallum. LT is getting up. I mean, he's a warrior. And LT's was winning that round before that happened.
Yeah.
So,
but now Shawn knows that he's rocked him too. Oh, big shots now. But LT is not going away.
Referee Stephen Blea is stepping in. He's warning McCallum again. He cannot keep pushing down the head like that, or he's going to lose a point.
10 seconds now. LT needs to escape this round without taking any big shots, but again, he's still pressing forward. I mean, my God. He got Rod. He said, you know what? I'm going to keep coming. Oh, that was
the bell.
That was.
Well, the biggest thing here. I mean, Shawn is tired.
Yeah.
LT's got heart. LT has got heart.
Again, no stool for LT. No stool. I get tired sitting in this chair. Again, that was the big shot that rocked LT, and I mean, you could tell he was completely rattled when that was delivered. And I mean, credit, that was a big shot landed by Shawn. That's the second knockdown of the fight. Again, in boxing, it's judged by rounds. And LT is now taunting the crowd. He is not gone at all.
Oh my goodness, he's a
an
warrior.
Animal. He is an animal. Unbelievable.
You have to get flat in here right away, bro. It's 11:40.
And now it is time for our 5th round of the 6th round bout. An unbelievable main event that has completely lived up to the hype. And LT immediately getting in there, pushing him on the ropes, delivered some big strikes now.
We learned a lot about Shawn in this fight as well. How would he deal with an opponent that applied that level of pressure to him? And guess what? I mean, he's passing with flying colors right now. But LT is never out of a fight.
No,
never.
No, not at all. And it just takes one big shot. And LT now putting on some pressure.
Yeah. Got about 2.5 minutes left in this round. What a just unbelievable fight. I mean, this is everything you want the main event to be.
Yes.
LT still coming forward.
Land some big hooks too.
The man's a zombie.
My God, I don't even know what to say here.
I mean, everybody loves LT. Reason right here.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, how can you not?
I mean, there is nobody wanting to fight this man other than maybe James Wiseman. And I'll be honest with you, stylistically, if I'm Wiseman, I like this fight.
I do too. I mean, well, Wiseman's a guy that it just takes one shot.
Yeah. I mean, devastating power.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was there when he had the Jose Gonzalez fight, and it was a knockout, drag-out fight. But then, looks like someone's lost a mouth guard here. Oh, big shots by LT. LT lost his mouth guard, though.
He don't care.
Nah.
He's already missing it, too.
I think he kind of likes it.
He does. Hey, that's why we got Rocky View Dental.
Oh, big shot by Mcgowan. Wow, what a bunch
big
of
uppercut
warriors.
by Mcgowan.
My God.
And he's still applying pressure. LT is a warrior. Warrior.
And not even an ounce of blood.
No.
Like, I don't even.
Doing
look at him again. But
here comes LT.
Wow.
Applying pressure.
The fact that they both can be at this point of physical exhaustion, taking the shots that they have taken and continue to put their foot in the ground, bite down on their mouth guard, or in LT's case, his own teeth, and continue to deliver massive shots.
Well, the consensus this week, and talking to a lot of the press and the opinions, is that Mcgowan would probably win the fight, but he was going to know he was in a fight.
Oh yeah, no.
And we're there.
Yeah.
We're there.
Oh, look at LT. I mean, how do you not like this guy? I mean, I like both of them but for different reasons.
What an unbelievable fight.
LT continuing to press forward now. Unbelievable.
The crowd is on their feet still. Look at the excitement.
This is great.
Oh,
Big
huge shot.
Look at LT. Takes a deep breath and he's back in there. Wow. My God, what do you have to do to put this another mouthpiece lost?
This could be the end of it. Stephen Blaze watching it very close. Oh, the end of the round. Wow.
Another at the bell punch by Mcgowan. Another one.
Yeah, I think they're going to take. Blea might be taking a point here. Look, let's not take away from it. The sixth. We're going to go to the sixth round, the sixth and final round.
Wow.
What an unbelievable fight it has been.
Yikes. This has been, here's the replay here. LT does, keep in mind, folks, I believe at this point in the fight, LT does not have a mouth guard in.
I'm speechless. The man is, he's a legend. I mean, honestly, seriously, he fights the world-class, the best guys in MMA, in boxing, in kickboxing. And, Shawn Mccallum's just confirming what they're saying. This kid's going to be a world champion.
He is. I believe so 100%.
He has got nasty power. He reminds me a lot of Jermaine Taylor.
Ooh.
You know, when he was having his uprise.
I like that comparison actually a lot. Look at these guys now. Sixth and final round. They're going to lay it all out on the line.
Well, I mean, if you're Shawn, you might want to keep your distance.
Look at LT.
Shawn says, no.
What a main event. This has been incredible.
Yeah. LT Heart of the Year.
Wow.
He's like, nope.
Look at this.
Biting down on that. Oh, there they go.
Wow. Oh, my
God.
Oh, wow.
What an exchange.
And they both walked back like nothing happened. My God, I felt that from here.
LT wants this. He wants this.
He does.
He's
wants a
dragging
boxing
Shawn
title.
into this fight.
He wants a boxing title.
Oh, good.
Wow. Right in front of us here. What a battle. My God. This, it's January, but, fight of the year, I guess. I mean.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless, Wow. I mean, this is.
Good hook there by LT.
Win, lose, or draw with LT, I love this guy.
Yeah.
And you understand why everybody does.
Yeah. 1 minute and 30 seconds now. LT's got, you can hear his corner making a decision. LT's got to press to win this round. He wins this round, I don't know. I mean, obviously the 2 rounds go to Mccallum when they got the knockdown, but LT's been landing a lot of shots on Mccallum tonight.
I mean, those are 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he didn't get the decision. But man, LT just continues to amaze me.
The fact that he keeps ducking shots with how many he's taken and how exhausted he is. Approaching 1 minute now. 1 minute left in our main event, Combat Series 4, and it's been combat.
It's been everything we dreamed of.
Yeah, honestly, it has lived up to the hype. Wow, what a fight. Continuing both of them to deliver massive shots now. 45 seconds. Ooh, big shot by Mcgowan. But now LT's got him on the ropes. I don't know how LT is able to
35 seconds.
His gas tank hits empty, and then he drives 50 more miles.
He's gonna go. He will go out on his ship. He's a warrior. You have got to completely knock him unconscious to stop him. He will never quit.
No, he's a king.
He fought with a broken jaw.
Wow.
Before, 13 seconds left.
Wow, 10 seconds now.
Big body shot by Mcgowan.
Unbelievable fight. Big uppercut by Mcgowan.
5 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Wow. I'm going to give a standing ovation there.
You can see us on camera right here, folks. We are standing up at ringside.
Wow.
What a way to end an incredible card.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. There we go. We got some video. Unbelievable fight. LT Nelson just showed everybody why he's been king of Sparta. I mean, Shawn Mccallum, an incredible talent prospect, definitely going to be a world champion. Well, I just can't say it enough. I mean, LT Nelson, my goodness. You know, Shawn Mccallum, my goodness. I mean, as built, you know, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, the consensus was that Shawn would win the fight probably, but he would know that he was in an unbelievable battle tonight, and he was. I mean, he was just in a unbelievable fight. What a way to end the night. You know, Steve Messa's Airtight Boxing, what matchmaking. I mean, my goodness. Let's give a round of applause to these two guys. We're going to take it up to Big Mo to close it out. Look, I will see you all tomorrow night on Sparta Sports and Entertainment, Sparta 77. Cody,
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our main event competitors tonight. At the end of 6 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. Judge Ramirez scores at 59-53, while Judge Ramirez and Van Tine score at 60-52, declaring you winner by unanimous decision, and the new Sparta Sports and Entertainment and Airtight Boxing middleweight champion, the amazing Shawn Mccallum. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined in the ring by our victor and new champion, the amazing Shawn Mccallum. And Shawn, massive shots tonight. You landed some very, very big strikes, and you were the aggressor for a majority of the fight. Did you plan on doing that?
I planned on doing whatever it took to get the win. Been out of the ring almost a year, and yeah, I just came in here just with the mindset of do what I got to do to win.
Now, sounds like we got some Shawn Mccallum fans in the building tonight. As a new champion, what do you want to say to your fans?
Thank you for coming out, spending your hard-earned money. I appreciate each and every one of you that came out to watch me, who rooted for me or against me. It's all the same to me. Thank you for coming out.
Now, I just want to ask, what's next for the new champion?
If there's anybody who feels like they can come and take this from around my waist, come get in the ring with me and let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, your new champion, the amazing Shawn Mccallum. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out. Oh, give me a second. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, fans. I just need to compose myself. Whew. That fight was even better the second time. Actually, scratch that. That's like the 6th time I've watched that fight. That was even better the 6th time. I mean, those were two guys that left it all out in the ring for the fans and for themselves and their corners and their coaches and their gyms. A title fight, crown a new champion for Airtight Boxing, Shawn Mccallum. But, I mean, just wow. That's all I can say is wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, LT Nelson is a combat sports legend in Colorado, and he's a world-class kickboxer in glory. But combat sports, to win King of Sparta not once but 2 times, and then to get in there and fight world-class competition in boxing, and that's exactly what Shawn is. He's world-class competition that's only going to get better. And I was happy for Shawn because a lot of people didn't think he could beat LT, and so trial by fire, right? We were just talking about it. Trial by fire. He showed his heart and his ability. How is he going to handle it when he knocks somebody down that gets back up and gets back in his face?
He learned.
He did. He showed incredible patience, and it was just an incredible fight. Man, it just more reason to love LT. Sometimes, like, you know, we were talking about it, and one of the things that's always bothered me is after a tough loss like that, the fighter comes over and says, "I'm sorry." Sorry for what?
Right.
They think they let everybody down, not knowing that I have more love for the guys that go through that and lose and still are humble and gentlemen as LT is. And it's like, you have nothing to be sorry for. I'm so proud of him. Like, man, he took the fight on relatively short notice, though he's always in shape. But you have to, it doesn't matter if you're in shape. It's different when you're boxing a guy like that. And he went the distance.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You know, and the crowd energy, it gave us that momentum from January into February. And I think that's kind of the heartbreaking part about it, is we were talking about it earlier. We had our two best months in Sparta's 11-year history for a January, February, and we were building that momentum for March, and then we were going into AVM. So, you know, but hey, we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back. It's just, a roadblock, and so it's an obstacle. We're going to go around and pave our own way, and we're going to get back.
Well, great organizations adapt, and this is how we adapt. For all of you people in the community that love what we're able to put on, to be able to come back and look at previous fights is really cool and really fun, and we do this for all of you guys at home and all of your families. And with this being the conclusion of our show, I do want to say that this content that we're doing is going to continue to be put out. And so please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, because we're just scratching the surface of content and incredible entertainment that we're going to give to all of you. And Jeff, you're leading the charge on it here, but I just want to say thank you. Just as a member of the community, this is what we need, and I'm very excited to be a part of it, and I'm very excited to give it to all the people at home.
Well, thank you, Kody. We love having you part of the team. And look, you could have the greatest ideas in the world, but if you don't have the team that can execute it, it's nothing. And I've been very blessed with the team that can execute it. And yes, they are my enablers, and they keep allowing me to do crazy things because they pull it off. They'll yell at me and come unglued, and then they make it happen. And then it's like, okay, how can we get to the next level? But, I think that's the big difference, is that, myself, the entire team, Steve Mestis, we love this. This is our life. We don't do this part-time. We're not hobby promoters. We don't have another job and then just do this when we feel like it. We do this full-time, full-fledged, and I think it shows. I think that's the difference in what we do, and we are very proactive in our community. We're always out there helping wherever we can, and that's what I miss most about the events. Is being able to just see everybody and talk to everybody. But for me, it's been awesome. We were talking about it earlier. Our daughters, they're loving the extra time. So I've had a chance to really spend a lot of quality time with them. And like I said, we've been able to really execute some new ideas that have been in queue for 2 years. Also, Kody, I want to take a minute, like we talked about earlier, to say thank you to not only the community of supporters, the fans, the fighters, the coaches that make this all possible, but I want to say thank you to our sponsors and advertisers that have never wavered once on us. And so I'd like to say thank you to Courtney Goodgain from Arapahoe Kia, Paul Crabtree and Brandon Moreland from Brandon Dodge and Cowboy Dodge, Mike Surrey from Larry Miller Dodge Chrysler Fiat of Denver, Dynamic Mortgage, Bill Ton and John Vigil. We appreciate you guys so very much, and everyone else who has supported us through this. So I appreciate you working with us, and if you're in need of any of their products, we're going to pop up their graphics. Please think about supporting these companies. These are incredible companies that are moving forward in very difficult times. Thank you so much.
Well, that brings us to the end of our show, Jeff, and it has been a great one. On behalf of Jeff Cisneros, Sparta Sports and Entertainment, Airtight Boxing, and Sparta Media Group, this has been Big Mo. Thank you all so much for joining us. Stay safe, make sure you wash your hands, and we'll see you guys on the next piece of content that we put out. And I'm not going to divulge anything, but it's going to be a special one. And we'll see you next time, and have a great night.